Welcome to Yoga Jadra. Today we have about a 30-minute practice, so a little shorter than usual, but we're going to really fill it up. We've got some eagle variations, some core work, and we will end with a nice deep savasana. All right, go ahead and grab your mat, any props you might need, and if you want to turn on your music, go ahead, and we're about to begin. When you're ready, and if you're still grabbing your props and whatever you need, take your time. But when you're ready, we'll find a long, tall seat on the mat, stacking head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and closing the eyes or resting the gaze and bringing our awareness to the present moment. The practice of yoga is the practice of calming the mind. The mind is going always. You have these thoughts passing by all day long, all night long. And in yoga class, we're just going to try and settle a little bit. So let's start by coming together with the sound of Om 3 times. We'll allow the vibration to be our first warm-up. We're going to let it resonate throughout the body into the space around us. As you're ready, go ahead and lift the gaze. And we'll come all the way up, just right on up to standing. Take a wide stance and we'll swing side to side using the core of the body, the middle of the body. And letting the arms just follow along and even the gaze. Eyes just follow along. Coming to the center. Let's bring the fingertips to the top of the head and drop little fingertip raindrops to stimulate the nervous system, moving the blood a little bit, and we'll keep that stimulation. We'll bring it down to the temples, into the jaw, down under the eyes, and gently over the eyes, being really careful with ourselves, offering ourselves some waking up, but not too much pressure or any pain. Back to the back of the neck, and it's a little meatier back here, so maybe you can add a little more pressure, maybe start to dig in a bit. You just have a short amount of time to ease any tension or strain in the body. Personal massage can be a really nice way to just quickly and effectively get into the muscles. And let's let the left arm drop, and we'll take the right across to the shoulder and dig in. And we'll bring it down that arm, keep squeezing the muscles all the way down through the wrists. The wrist can be a really important section in the carpal tunnel area. so much gets stuck in there. And then into the palm and each finger all the way to the end of the fingers. And back up. And we'll take the left hand over to the right shoulder. Always important to have not the same arm as you're massaging. So I'm using my left hand to get into my right shoulder muscles rather than grabbing my right shoulder muscles with my right arm, because I want to use different muscles than the ones that I'm using. And then down the arm all the way to the wrist. Again, dig into that carpal tunnel area, especially if you are typing a lot or texting a lot, writing a lot. Into the palm all the way to the fingertips. Maybe get some cracks in the joints. And coming back up. And we'll take peace fingers and thumb, a little like pincher here, to the clavicle and just gently tap under that bone. Nice. And we'll just let that go. Let's inhale up. Exhale, shake the hands down. One more time, inhale up. Shake the hands down. We'll pour over onto the left foot and give the right leg a hug and into some ankle circles. 1, 2, 3, one way the other direction. 2, 3, and hold, lengthen through the spine and release. Other side, we'll give the left leg a hug, tuck it in, and circle, circle, circle one way, and circle, circle, circle the other way. Give it a hug, long, tall spine, and release. Okay, let's move to the front of the mat. If you're not there already, toes forward, heels back. Inhale comes up, high arch. Hips come forward as your heart lifts. Release over on an exhale. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Protecting the lower back and hamstrings. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. This is your time for your neck muscles, your back muscles to be released, to find a little ease here. Reversing all of what we put them through when we stand and sit throughout the day. Now we're just going to let them hang. And gently we'll bring the right leg back, lower down the right knee. Let's actually just come right on up into kneeling and bring the arms down like goalposts. And we'll bring the elbows together in front and separate the thumbs, so actually the edges of my hands are together. We'll just hold here for a moment, kind of a very modified eagle arm. Bringing the palms down either side of the foot. We'll find our way into plank. Hold for a breath. I'm going to lower down my right knee and tip over onto the right side. Modified Vashisthasana, side plank. And we can hold here. You can stay right where you are, or we can go into the eagle plank. So I'm going to bring my right knee to my left and then stack it over and just hold here for a breath. Hold in this eagle-eyed plank. Everything comes down to the center. Let's sit down in the heels, rest in child's for a breath. We'll extend the arms long if they're not already. Coming up, let's find our way into dog. And we're just going to gently bring the dog down into an upward dog. And we'll go back and forth a couple times. So down dog and upward dog. And reverse down dog and upward dog.
come back, and we'll undo the toes and hold in our down dog for a breath. And we'll slide the right leg forward, left knee down. Again, we're going to go into kneeling. This time I'm going to open up into a twist. So right arm back, left arm forward, looking over to the right fingertips. Hold here. Windmilling around. I'll bring my left foot to meet my right and hang one more time. Maybe you're feeling a little more open. You can grab opposite elbows and really release. Maybe a little pendulum swing. And I'll let go of the arms, tuck the tailbone, and find my way all the way up to high arch one more time. And down through heart center, steady heart, steady breath. Where is the mind wandering off right now? Bring it back. That's the practice. Noticing when your mind is floating away, when the thoughts are drawing your attention in various directions, and then bringing it back to where we are right now. Same thing, second side. Inhale comes up and back, high arch. As the heart comes up, the hips come forward. Release over on the exhale and hang. Really letting go in the jaw, in the neck, in the shoulders. Left foot goes back, lower down into kneeling. Coming up on the breath in. Goal post the arms. Bring the palms together. And then open them out. So it's like you're opening into reading a book in your hands. Holding here. Trying to keep the elbows glued together. And palms come down either side of the right foot. Find your plank, one long line from heels to the top of the head. And we'll rotate over onto the left side. So I'm going to bring my left knee down, open my right arm high. Modified Vashisthasana, stay right here. If you like, great option. Or bring the left knee to meet the right and slide it over for eagle legs. Hold here for a breath. And release back down into your traditional plank. Lower the knees, sit back in the heels, child's pose. Child's pose can be a moment of release. If they're not already, extend the hands. We'll press the palms into the earth and we'll come up into our variation on the dog. So lifting the hips up here, and we're going to slide forward into our upward facing dog and go back and forth, leading with the hips into down dog and return into up dog. Twice more, leading up the hips, and they come down into the upward facing dog. Last one, coming up and down. It's funny that our hips are going up for down dog and down for up dog. And coming into the down dog, we'll release into the flat feet. Well, your heels might be off the floor, which is totally acceptable. And we'll take a moment here, getting into the joints. And we'll slide the left foot forward, lower down into kneeling, coming up, and then this time opening into the twist. Left arm back, right arm forward. Look over the left shoulder to the left fingertips. Holding here. One more breath. And we'll swing it forward. Bring the right foot to meet the left and hang in your forward fold. Maybe you're feeling a little more open. You can grab the ankles, forearms along the length of the lower leg. Inhale, and exhale draws everything a little closer together and starts to lengthen the legs. Again, we're not going to pull any muscles, so if you're not feeling like that's a good idea, your body, of course, is your best teacher. So listen to your body first and me second. But here's just an idea of, on the exhales, drawing everything closer together. Releasing again in the neck and jaw. Okay, if you're holding onto the ankles, let that go. We're going to lead with the top of the head. Come all the way up. High arch and down through heart center. Steady heart, steady breath. I'm going to bring my arms again into that modified eagle arm, but this time I'm going to stack my, which one do I want to top? My left arm on top of my right, back to back, or palm to palm. And if the eagle arms is ever too much, you can go back to our modified variation. I'm going to lift up the right and hug it over the left. You can tap your right toe on the earth or tuck it behind. Hold here. I'm going to lift my right foot up again and send it back into warrior 3. So holding here in your toppling tree with the eagle arms, hold. And lower down into high lunge, hold. Walk the left foot out a little to the side. And release over, humble warrior, eagle arms still intact. Inhale, lifts back up. Let's go ahead and release the arms. Clasp the hands behind the back. Lift up with the heart. And we'll step right back onto that front foot. Again, toppling tree, this time opening the heart. Reaching the knuckles towards the wall behind you. And return back up to stand. And we'll hold for a breath in Tadasana. Find your center. Other side. I'm going to bring my arms together. This side I'm going to stack right on top of left. Lifting up the left knee and stack it over. You might use the left toe like a kickstand or tuck it behind the thigh. Hold here. Bring that left knee forward. And we'll send it back into warrior 3. Still eagle arms. Gently coming down into high lunge. Breath here. And walk the right foot out to the edge of the mat. Hold. And on an exhale, humble warrior, eagle arms still intact. Making your way back up. And go ahead and release the arms. We'll weave the fingers together behind the back. Lift the heart. And step up onto that right foot. Now, toppling tree. Opening the heart, reaching the knuckles behind. And release into Tadasana for our breath. Bringing the feet wide, toes out, heels in. Come down into Malasana, yogi squat. I'm going to lower all the way until my seat meets the floor and rock and roll just a couple times forward and back. We'll land in Navasana, boat pose. And with control, use the abdominals. Find your way all the way down to flat on the mat and hold. Let's bring both knees in, grabbing onto the knees, and we'll just sort of go around a few times in circles, one way and the other direction, massaging the lower back on the floor. I'm going to lengthen the left leg long and give the right leg an extra hug into the body. This might be enough for you. You could stay here. If you want to go a little deeper, we'll take the right hand to the sole of the right foot, maybe even the left hand reaches too, and draw the knee down underneath the armpit. You could also have the left hand on the left hip to just try and encourage the left side to stay down instead of popping up. And then from here, we're going to go into a twist. I'm going to take my right leg across my body over to the left and let my upper body fall to the right side. So big supine twist to the right. Return back to center. One last hug for that right leg and let it go as you transition into the left side. So giving the left leg a hug. We'll hold here for our breath before we move on. And then if you want to add on, the left hand grabs the outside of the left foot, maybe the right hand as well, and tuck the left knee underneath the armpit. Maybe the right hand to the right hip, just to say, kind of encourage it to keep low, not rather than popping up. Again, your body is your best teacher, so checking in with how you and your body are feeling and modifying or adjusting as needed. One more breath here. And then we'll take that left leg across over to the right side and we'll let the upper body fall to the left. Supine twist, big squeeze for the torso, cleaning out the organs. Massages or movement, or if you want to grab a blanket or change your music, go ahead and do that, and you'll work your way down into Shavasana, the deep relaxation. We'll let the toes fall open, arms are long by the sides of the body, and the spine is long and straight, nose up towards the ceiling. And once you find that space, hold there. You can close the eyes. Holding in Shavasana, maybe 5 minutes or so. So finding a place where you can be really still and comfortable. And this is the most important part of the practice. Finding stillness and allowing the body to heal. This is where all of the work that we just did gets solidified, the benefits appear. So we'll release every part of the body, imagining the
without moving anything specifically, but in the mind, noticing and feeling release in the toes, release in the feet, in the ankles, release in the shins and calves, release in the knees, in the thighs and hips, release the seat and the pelvis, release the lower back, the middle and upper back, across the shoulders. Release the fingertips, the fingers, the palms, the back of the hands. Release the wrists, the muscles in the forearms, elbows and upper arms. Release across the chest, the lungs, the ribs, all the organs are at ease. Release the neck and the throat, the jaw, the tongue, the lips. Release across the face, the eyes, eyebrows, forehead, temples. Release at the base of the skull and up to the top of the head. No strain left anywhere in the body. Without attachment, watch where the mind wanders. See each thought as it passes by, as if it was floating across a river, down a river, like a leaf on the water. It's neither good nor bad, it just is. Slowly bringing awareness back to the present moment. Noticing the weight of the head and the heels on the earth, on the mat. Gently moving in the fingers and toes. Deepening the breath. Maybe a stretch and a yawn, and find your way back up to sit. And we close with the mantra for peace. Slow breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti.
This concludes